one thing that has truly interested me during my studies here in communication is the concept that we live in a society constituted by narratives. We enjoy reading a good book. Okay, maybe I'm with you. I know I'm a good one. Sorry. And then we also love going to see movies at the theater. Not just saying classes specifically, I know we like gossip as well. That's like afterwards, I want to catch up on everything that's going on. And we're surrounded by stories each and every day. And how can we not be fascinated by them? They give us encouragement as they tell us about a hero's trials and his strive to overcome his obstacles. The hope we gain from these stories are oftentimes the very source of our motivation and our inspiration. A good story invigorates us, and we begin to feel that we can take on the world. It is stories like these that kept me going during my most difficult times, when I was going through my identity crisis, when I was wondering if I could make it through, when I was staying up late writing 15 to 20-page papers. Love those. But I'm sure you all have similar stories as well. So today, I'm going to share a couple of stories that truly motivated me during my time here. And as I do, think about the stories that have inspired me and the most. One of the stories that has stuck with me comes from this incredible woman who always seems to find a reason to smile, despite living with a condition that seems to have broken so many others. You see, this woman was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 6, and today she's sitting in this room today, so I can't tell you her age, but let's just say it's been over 21 years. Anyways, this woman's always laughing, always smiling, and to tell you the truth, it brightens my day whenever I see her. She succeeded in managing her diabetes, and rather than allowing it to debilitate her, she lives a very productive and normal life. She's taught me that life will present us with situations that we cannot control. However, we do have the ability to control how we react to and manage these unavoidable situations. You see, her husband's also fairly incredible as well. He is an African American and was born in a time period where you would actually see the White Hoods of the KKK, rather than reading about it in movies most of us have. But somehow, he managed to shrug off all the pain of living in an ethnocentric society and decided to judge a person by the content of his character rather than the color of his skin. With that in mind, he went on ahead and wrote 3 very important societal rules of his time. 1, he became a successful black man. 2, he married a white woman. And 3, this woman happens to be 17 years his junior. Yes, he likes to say he was working his Mac Daddy body. But all jokes aside, I'm thankful to have this man in my life who's taught me that society cannot determine your life story, and the only person who does and should have the ability to say how it unfolds is you. And for that reason, among many others, I am so grateful to call these 2 people my parents. I'm sorry. Now, I've told you these stories to show you that the most inspirational stories do not come from the blockbusters, from a book you find in Barnes & Noble, or on a quote that you watch on TV, even though it says based on a true story. Rather, the most inspirational stories come from the people who have had a significant impact in your life. They're found in your best friend, your roommate, or as in my case, your parents. My parents didn't change the world on a macroscopic level like Martin Luther King Jr. or Einstein, but they have undoubtedly changed my world. And so I'm positive that there are people you know who have had just as much a significant impact in your life. Chances are they're sitting in this room today. And, sorry, lost my voice. So as you leave today to chase after your dreams, going to work after your internships, go to grad school, law school, go in your career of your dreams, I want you to remember that there are these stories that can keep you going no matter what life throws in your way. They'll remind you that you can face the storm and be stronger for it. They'll show you that for every one negative aspect in life, there are hundreds more that will bring a smile to your face. Think of your mom, who seems to always have a hug waiting for you right when you need it the most, and probably when you don't. Think of your best friend, who always knows the right time to call. Think fondly of your father, who moved mountains to ensure your safety. And when the next obstacle comes your way and you're beginning to feel a bit discouraged, think back to these stories. You'll soon discover they'll give you the motivation you need to turn those stumbling blocks into stepping stones. That's not to say we don't have our own stories to tell as well. And this gets better because our stories have just begun. them, but we're continuing to write them. We're writing them here and now. And I can't wait to see how they turn out. Can you?